So we're going to create a D4 again. There's another video where we create a D4. In the other example, we created a base triangle, and then we put a point up, and then we just lofted the base up to the top. And that's a really fast way to do it, but not all shapes lend themselves to that kind of strategy. So we're going to try something different. Make sure that you're working in millimeters, just because that's how I'm doing it, and you want to be cool like me. So right-click front plane, click Edit Sketch, and then click Polygon. We're a three-sided polygon, also known as a triangle. We're going to smart dimension one of the sides. Be careful whenever you're smart dimensioning, because this is the side that we're looking for, not this one. You see how that's different? This is like the side of a triangle. That's the hypotenuse. You could also do this. That would be, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is right. It all depends on where you hold your mouse. So you might have to play with it. I'm going to make mine 20.34 because I'm going to print on there. And click this little button to get out. If I hit the F button, that'll fill my screen with my drawing, my sketch. See the negative sign says it's not fully defined, so that means I need to do some more work. So I'm going to edit the sketch. So I say, well, first of all, the sides aren't necessarily equal. So if I right-click, I can say Select Chain, and that's going to select all the way around, which would be really useful, you know, if you have a 15-sided figure and you don't want to arbitrarily hand-select every single side. So I can right-click, Select Chain, and then come over here and say Make it equal. Check. We're still not fully defined, even if I rebuild. And again, if I edit the sketch, the reason for that is this moves around. So I'm just going to arbitrarily pick one side and say make that side horizontal. And now, if I rebuild, my sketch is fully defined. Good? So what we're going to do is, instead of using this, and as I talk, I'm going to be rotating it by clicking my scroll wheel and then moving my mouse. So we've done this before by basically taking this shape, putting a point up here, and lofting the two together. And that's, I guess, fine. But like I said, there's reasons that you might not want to do that. So that's what we're going to look at. So first of all, let's see. Go to Insert Surface, Planar. Okay. And we're going to click this face and click OK. So now basically what that's done is it turned it from a sketch of a triangle to an actual super thin, essentially non-existent triangle. But it is now a surface, which is really important. We really need it to be a surface. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create planes that go kind of like up like this, and then up like this, and then they all meet at some point at the top. So in order to create these planes, we have to insert a reference geometry. So we can't just immediately insert the other three sides of the triangle. We have to give it something to work off of. And so that's what our reference geometry is going to be. So we're going to create a plane. That's complicated. All right, so our first reference is going to be base 1. Delete. First reference is going to be the plane. It's really important that you make it the plane and not the edge, because you can't be a certain degree away from an edge, but you can be a certain degree off of a plane. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to change the rotation of this reference geometry that we're painting here. So so our second reference can be the edge, so that's what's going to go through. And let's see. See, I can make it move. Kind of hard to see what's going on, actually. That's not any better. Kind of. Maybe. Let's see. It's all about getting the angle right, you know. I mean, that might be easier for me to see, but I'm going the wrong direction. This way. That's kind of what it looks like. That's way too far. Let's see, how far do I want this to go? That is a great question. I had to figure it out before I started this. Let's look it up. And this is a tetrahedron. This is what the integers for. Tetrahedron. Angle between two faces is the arctangent of 2 square root of 2. Approximately that. So the angle between two faces is that. I don't think it's going to like that. It's going in the wrong direction. Can I flip it? Ah, look. That's what I want. Okay. And it's fully defined. This is fantastic. Alright. So I'm going to call this some face. Face. So there we go. Good stuff. Okay. Let's right click this. We're going to be normal to that. Okay. Now I want to right click and sketch on here. Now I'm going to create my triangle, my polygon. Make sure you click on that point, because that's where I want, obviously, it to fit. Point. Point. Ooh, that's not what I meant. Go back. Undo. Ah! Let's try this again. I need a different kind. I wonder if it's going to let me do it this way. Might have to pick another. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. Alright, since it's being strange about it, let's just go ahead and use lines. Choo. Choo. So, pull it out there. And choo. Good? That's not so bad. If what you're trying doesn't work, try something else. So now I'm going to, again, right-click it, and hope it'll let me select chain. Yep, goes all the way around. And I want all the sides to be equal. And since this side here was already defined by the previous triangle, it just makes these two equal to it. Good? Alrighty. Fully defined. Now we want to make this into a surface. Insert, surface, planar, card sketch. Yes. Sweet. Look how cool this is. Alright. So let me label, I'm going to call this my new face plane, just so I remember where it came from. Alright? Okay. Now I don't want to see that plane anymore because it's annoying, so I'm going to hide it. So you see what I've got here? I've got kind of part of my die. Okay. Now we want to create another planar surface. Insert, surface, reference geometry. So this is going to be the reference geometry used to make the next plane. So pick that line and that line. So basically we're saying, here, give me fill that in. So which is what it did. And I'm really just making names for it so that I don't, so I kind of know what's going on. Second, new base 2. So that I remember, okay, that's the second one that I made. Okay, so now I want to come over here, right click, normal to, and that just makes it a little bit easier for me to see. And now I'm going to right click and say I want to add a sketch here. Use my lines, go clicky, 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 and don't forget to close the triangle, clicky. And then say, yep. And see how I believe it's already fully defined because the two sides are the same and there's only a certain length that can be. So that's pretty neat. So with that sketch selected, I'm going to go ahead and put in a plane there. Insert surface, planar, chunk, and there we go. So you see, you can still see in. So it's not finished, but we're really close. I'm going to go ahead and hide that. And this is my new base 2 plane. And then I'm going to add a top. One more time. Insert, reference geometry, plane. Again, we can just pick any two of these faces and it'll automatically find the face that fits there the best, which is kind of nice. So that's my last plane. So I want to be normal to that face so I can see it better. Normal too. And I want to sketch on it. I'm going to sketch my triangle. Chunk. Chunk. You do see that this is hollow, right? Chunk. We'll look at it in a second. I'll say yay. Thank you. And rebuild it. We're good. The sketch is there. You just can't see it. You can kind of see the gray line going around. So I want to go ahead and insert my planar surface like that. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hide that plane so I have to see. So look at this, it's beautiful. Let's look at a section view. I think that'll be fun. Alright, can you see that it's hollow? So I can see inside. When I go here, I can't see anything, obviously, but if I drag in here, I can see inside it so that I know that it's a hollow shape. So it's still there, but it's not filled in, which could make a difference if I'm calculating volumes and masses and stuff. So I want to make sure I fill it in. So the way that we're going to fill this in, actually on the section view, is we're going to go to Insert, Surface, Knit. Okay? It's weird because you would never pick that unless you know what you're looking for. So I'm going to pick 1, 2, 3, 4 sets. I think this is how to do it. I'm going to say try to form a solid. And I'll say OK. And it looked like it was successful, but let's check. So here's my section view. And if I look in here, you see I can't see inside anymore. That means the whole thing is solid, which is really awesome. That's what we wanted to have. So this is just a different way, and again, you would probably not actually do a D4 like this, but to do any larger polygon like this on a video would take too long. But you know, you could use this for a D10 or a D8 or D20 or something like that, just by creating all the little angles that go out and connecting surfaces like that. But I think that the trick is to make sure at the end that you make sure you use this knit, and to make sure that you create all those sketches into planar surfaces, because then you can actually use the knit pattern and get them all put together. But it's really fun. Look at the table. You could print it and impress all your friends, and they'll be like, "Yay, you're so cool." It'd be awesome.